In this lesson, you will learn about Fortiswitch Essentials, focusing on Managed Switch Mode. In this lesson, you will learn about the topics shown on this slide. After completing this section, you should be able to achieve the objectives shown on this slide. By demonstrating competence in Fortiswitch, you should be able to identify Fortiswitch models and management modes. Fortiswitch is Fortinet's Ethernet switch device. Like any other Ethernet switches, Fortiswitch operates at Layer 2 of the OSI model by forwarding Ethernet frames based on the destination MAC address of the frame and the contents of the MAC address table on the switch. Layer 3 static routing is supported on most Fortiswitch models, except for the 100 series, which only supports static routing for management traffic, and dynamic routing is supported on some models. The models that support dynamic routing require an Advanced Features license. You will learn more about Fortiswitch routing features in another lesson. Fortiswitch runs its own operating system, Fortiswitch OS. Fortiswitch OS is based on the FortiOS kernel and several FortiOS user space applications. Some of these applications have been customized to meet Fortiswitch OS requirements. Because Fortiswitch OS is based on FortiOS, most of the Fortiswitch OS configuration, troubleshooting, CLI commands, and output are very similar to FortiOS, and in some cases, are identical. If you have experience in FortiOS, you will find Fortiswitch OS familiar, which will shorten your learning curve considerably. You can manage Fortiswitch on FortiGate using FortiLink. This is the most common deployment, and it does not require an additional license. When you manage Fortiswitch on FortiGate, you simplify management by using the FortiGate GUI and CLI to manage both devices. In addition, when managed on FortiGate, Fortiswitch integrates with the Fortinet Security Fabric, which enables Fortiswitch to work together with FortiGate and other products, such as FortiManager, FortiAnalyzer, and FortiAuthenticator, to enhance LAN edge security, deployment, configuration, and troubleshooting. The FortiLink Secure Fabric is an optional feature that enhances the security of the security fabric by adding authentication and encryption to FortiLink connections between FortiGate and Fortiswitch. This ensures secure communication and protection against unauthorized access or tampering. The Fortiswitch portfolio classifies Fortiswitch models based on their use case, secure access, data center, and rugged. This slide describes the Fortiswitch Secure Access series. The Secure Access series is designed with endpoint connectivity in mind. The different models enable businesses to scale from the smallest retail setting to a data center. Uplink capacity is the most distinguishable difference between each series, starting with the 100 series with two 1 gigabit Ethernet (GE) uplinks and ending with the 500 series with two 40 GE uplinks. Usually, network traffic demands determine which secure access switch model is the right choice. In small and remote sites, deploying 100 and 200 series switches is generally more than sufficient. However, in larger networks with higher throughput requirements that demand more uplink capacity, deploying 400 and 500 series switches may be more appropriate. In terms of power delivery, all models support Power over Ethernet Plus, PoE Plus ports, but only the 400 series offers models that support Universal PoE, UPoE. You can deploy Fortiswitch as a standalone switch or as a managed switch. Fortiswitch performs a scan to locate FortiEdge Cloud or a FortiGate device that can manage it. If neither is found, Fortiswitch remains in standalone mode. There is no preset mode, but there is a search sequence. Fortiswitch standalone mode is also known as local mode. When Fortiswitch is in standalone management mode, you can manage the switch through the Fortiswitch GUI and CLI interfaces, or from FortiEdge Cloud. FortiEdge Cloud is a management as service (MaaS) solution that provides centralized discovery, visibility, and configuration for standalone Fortiswitch devices. FortiEdge Cloud requires every switch to have internet access. When deployed as a managed switch, the Fortiswitch is controlled by FortiGate, which acts as the switch controller and uses its FortiLink interface to communicate with the switch. In this mode, you manage Fortiswitch from FortiGate. Managed switch mode is also known as FortiLink mode. This lesson covers managed switch mode only. This slide also shows the Fortiswitch OS CLI settings that control the switch management mode. By default, the switch is operating in local mode. However, the switch auto network configuration option is set to enable. The switch is therefore operating in standalone mode and will attempt to discover a FortiLink interface on FortiGate. You can alter the Fortiswitch automatic discovery behavior by setting the switch auto network setting to disable the CLI. If you also want to manage your standalone switch from FortiEdge Cloud, ensure that the feature is enabled under Config System FLAN Cloud. Unless otherwise stated, in this lesson, all references to mode refer to managed switch mode. Good job! You now understand Fortiswitch Basics. Now, you will learn about managed switch operation.